Hello. That's a very basic tutorial of pygame. So when you watch this video, you will feel easy to go deeply with pygame. That's a very basic tutorial. So in this tutorial, you will learn how to install pygame and how to use the documentation, how to create a window, how to use the main loop because that's a very important, the main loop in games, and how to handle keys. For example, when you press some key, some event happen in your game. You trigger something, for example. How to draw a circle and how to move something, object movement. So in this tutorial, we'll create circle and we move it when we press some key. And that's the same idea for everything you want to move in your game. And also we'll see how to draw polygon and lines and so on, and how to other shapes, other pygame shapes, and how to draw a circle, how to load and print image. So let's get started. Before I get started, I just want to say, if you want any help in pygame, you will find the link below, just follow it. If it is just simple question, it will be for free. But if you want someone to help you developing your game or something, it will be just for $5, $6 or $10 and so on. Okay, so let's get started. So the link is in the first line in the description section below. So let's see how to install. The first thing, you need to have Python and pip installed in your computer. So that's my Python. It's installed as well, and excuse me. And also you need to have pip. Okay, so pip is also installed in my computer. So just write pip install pygame. Requirement already satisfied. That means that I have already installed pygame in my machine. So the first thing you need to do is refresh. You want to refresh your computer because you just installed pygame. So just now just go ahead and create a project. So just open idle, create a new file, and the first thing you need to import pygame. So save, so name it, I put it in desktop, and name it whatever you want. Okay, so let's compile by pressing F5. So there is no problem. That means that pygame is well installed in my machine. So the first thing you want to do is to initialize pygame because you want to start to use pygame. Okay, so pygame init. So here we say that we want to create a window. Okay, excuse me, let's see how to use documentation before I create a window. So for documentation, just go to pygame.org/docs. That's the menu. For example, how to use colors, display. All of these are methods of pygame. For example, if you go to draw, here that's how to draw a rectangle, how to draw polygon, circle, and so on. Okay. So let's create our window. We say we import pygame and then we initialize. So the other thing, we will create a window. So we want to specify the width and the height of this window. Okay, so let's declare the width. Let's make it just 600 pixels. Okay, and the height, let's make it just 400. So let's create our window. Okay, So the first thing, we need to create a variable. I will tell you why I use this variable. I name it win. Name it whatever you want. Okay. So pygame display set mode, and here we specify a list of two integers, which are the width and the height. The first is the width and the second is the height. Okay, so this function creates a window and display it at the same time. So, and it returns the window link. So because I want to use this window later, so I store this window in this variable here, when. Okay, so let's compile it by pressing F5. So that's our window. That's a very basic window. The caption is pygame window. Let's try to change the caption. Okay, excuse me. So pygame display set caption. Pygame is the simplest game development IC. Okay, so whatever. So let's compile. So that's whatever the caption changed. Okay, so if you want to quit the window, the same thing as this one, pygame in it, I use pygame quit. Okay, pygame quit. Okay, so let's compile. So it's just display and gone at the same time. Okay, okay, the main loop and keys handling. Before I start showing an example here, I just want to add something here. Mouse handling, because it's very important also for games. Okay, so main loop and keys handling. So let's erase this one here. A main loop is just a loop, a while loop. So while let's add a boolean here. For example, let's name it ren true, and while ren, which initially equal true. So we do something here in this loop. We call this loop here by the main loop, because here inside this while loop we'll code our game. It keep running as our game. When we want to stop our game, we just turn this variable, this boolean, to false. Okay, we call this by the main loop. Okay, so the keys handling. What's mean keys handling? That means that when I press something in my keyboard, so something happened. That's what mean. I want to connect my keyboard with my game. Okay, so the first of all, we must allow pygame to listen to the keyboard. To do that, we just to write the function pygame event pump. Okay, so here I just allow pygame to listen to the keyboard. Okay, so let's for example do a simple example. For example, when I press Q, the key Q, I stop the window, I close the window. Okay, so for that I just create an array let's name it keys, and I call the function pygame key get pressed. So this function returns an array of all keys. Let's see these keys in the documentation of pygame. So that's key here. So I use this, get the state of all keyboard buttons. Those are the keyboard characters. For example, K3 mean I press 3. K8, 8. For example, K each mean the keyword each. So it returns this array with all of these character. And initially, every character is false. But when I press some key, it will be true. I will show you an example, okay? So I say that this return all keys state, okay? For example, so that's an array here. So if, so I want to check if I press the keyword Q, okay? So keys, so that's this array here. And the name of the keyword, the Q, in the documentation, where is Q? So that's a Q here, okay? K underscore Q, okay? So that's mean that this pygame KQ, that's uppercase, excuse me, yes, let's copy it, okay? If this is equal true, in this case, what I do, I just quit the pygame, because I want, when I press Q, I quit the window, okay? So just pygame quit. And also I want to stop this loop here because I want to finish my game. So I just make this run this boolean equal false, okay? Run equal false. So let's compile. Yes, here. So let's press Q. There is some problem, I think. There is some problem. Where is the problem? Pygame quit. Oh yes, okay. So I want to put this this pump here. I will explain why I must put this function inside the loop. Okay. Let's press Q. So it's closed, okay? Let's run again. I press Q, it's closed and the loop finished. So let me explain again. So I say that this returns the key's state. If a key is pressed, it will be equal true. And if not, it will be equal false, because initially all keys are false. Only if I press some key it will be true. So I say that initially all of these all the keys are false. So I initiate these keys when I call this function. Okay. When I call this function, I fill the array keys by false, and when I press some key, this case state will be true. Okay, so that's it. Here when I press Q, it will be true. So when I check, I find that this is true. I quit the window and I stop this loop here. Okay. So how to draw a circle? So let's go to the documentation, draw, and let's go to circle. So that's the function, pygame draw circle. Okay. So let's put it inside our loop. Okay. So before excuse me, before I draw a circle, let's just compile. Let's change the background. So that's black here. Let's change our background. Okay. If you want to change the background, all what you need is, so that's our window. We want to change the window background. So I just say win fill, and here inside this parentheses, I write my color, background color. Let's make it just white color. That's the white color. Let's compile. Excuse me. So why there is nothing happen? Because I want to update. I want to update my my window. Okay. So how to update? I just write pygame display update. Okay, so let's compile. So it's white. Okay, so what I did, I just say that I fill the background by this color, which is a white color, and I update my window. Okay. So let's draw the circle. So let's go to the documentation. The first argument in this function is the surface. Which is the surface? The surface mean our window. This window here. The second is the color. A color is three integers. Okay. Which is a color, RGB color. So let's make our color, for example, is red, 255 0 0, and for the third is center. Center is the coordinates of the center of our circle. Okay. So what's mean the coordinates? The coordinates. So here that's the coordinates 0 0. So when I go right, I increment the x's, and when I go to the bottom, I increment the y's, the second tuple. Okay. So let's make the coordinates, for example, 100, 100. That's the coordinates of the center of our circle. The third one is the radius of our circle. Let's make it just 50 pixel. Okay. So let's run to see our circle. So there is nothing, there is no circle. Why there is no circle? Because I want to update my window. Okay. So I want to make this update function here. Okay. In the end of our, excuse me, in the end of our loop. Let's just put it here. Okay. Let's compile again. So that's our circle. Okay. With the coordinates 100, 100, and the color is red, and the radius is 50. Okay. So that's how you can draw a circle. The other thing, so object movement. So let's move our circle. Okay, that's the same thing for everything you want to move. Okay. For example, I want to move my circle when I press left or right. Okay, so let's, here I say when I press Q, I stop the window. I want when I press left, I move the circle to left, and when I press right, I move the circle to right. Okay, so let's see the keys right and left. Where is keys? Where is stop left? Where is up? Excuse me. I forget. So that's left and that's right. Okay. So let's make one for left and one for right. Okay. So that's the left and that's the right. So when I press left, so here I want to make this the center. I declare them as variable first. Okay, so let's say x is equal 100 and y is equal 100. I want to make this two integers as variables. Okay. And here what I do, when I press left, I reduce x. Okay, I reduce x So I make x equal x minus 5 pixel for example, and here when I press right, excuse me, I make x equal x plus 5. Okay, so let's compile. Let's press the left button. So, oh, there is something there is something unuseful. Why? That's because our loop is too fast. Okay, is too fast. This loop is too fast. When I press just one press, you see that this is just one press, but in the computer it's 100 or 200 press. Okay, so what you want to do, so for now let's just go to the time. So there is two time kinds in games. The good thing, the best thing is to get timer, to use timer, but because that's just a simple tutorial, I just make the wait, okay, the wait function. Okay, so that's mean that when I when I enter to the loop, I wait for example 20 milliseconds. Okay, so let's compile now. Let's press right. If I press left, so but there is something here. So that's not our circle. Why? Because my circle, the old circle, stay the same, and I draw another circle. So to handle this problem, what I want to do, so I want to make this fill inside the loop. Okay, you want to put it inside the loop. Let's put it just after the update. Okay, so let's compile again. So I press right, left, left. That's the same thing. If you want to move anything in your game, that's the same idea. Just declare the coordinates as variable. Just declare them as variable and handle them however you want. Okay, so that's how to move your an object. Okay, that's how to move an object. So how to draw polygon and line, and how to draw text or render text. Render text. So let's go ahead to draw. Where is polygon? That's a polygon. Draw polygon, surface, and then color, and then the points. That's mean the corners of this polygon. Okay, so let's use this function. So excuse me, let's erase this of the circle. Let's erase this again, and these two also. So let's see the function. Use the function draw polygon. The first argument is the surface. So that's mean our window. Okay, so our variable here is window. The second argument is the color. Let's make it, for example, green 0 255 0. The third are the points. The points of the corners of our polygon. So we can use, that's the points here, tuple or list coordinates, sequence of 3 or more coordinates. Okay, so let's just put random number of, let's make 5 points. For example, the first is 0 0, the second is 50 10, the other one is 60 100, the other one is 200 30, the last one is 10 10. Okay, those are the corners of our polygon. The third one, the third is optional here, the width. If it is 0, so optional, use it for a thickness or to indicate that the polygon is to be filled. 0 mean filled. Greater than 0 used for line thickness. Nothing will be drawn. Let's make it, let's let it 0, okay, or let's because default is 0, so we can just let it empty. Okay, so let's see, let's compile. So that's our polygon. Okay, those are the corners of these corners we specify here. Okay, that's for the polygon. For the line is simple also. So just pygame draw line. For the line, the first thing is our surface, which is window, our window. The start point, the second thing is the color. Let's make it blue. The third is the start point. Let's make it 10 100. And the end point, let's make it 500 at 200. And the last one is the height of the line, the width of the line. Okay, let's make it just 5 pixels. Okay, let's compile. So that's our line here. Okay, it's blue. For the other thing, how to render text. To render text, the first thing we must specify the font. Okay, so let's declare it as a variable my font equal. So the fonts are here. You can find them in the documentation. Font. We just use a system font. Okay, that's the system font. Okay, so I just use my equal pygame, pygame font sys font. There is many system fonts for pygame. I use, for example, mono space, and here that's the size of my font. Okay, so now I have my font, it's here. The second thing, I declare my text. So text equal, so I use this font here. I declare, so here I declare font, and here I declare text using this font. Okay, so my font render. The first thing, I must specify the text. Okay, the text, let's just write just a text. The second argument is a boolean. Let's make it a true, for example, true or false. The third one is the color. Let's make it black, 0, 0, 0. And now here I render the text. I print the text in the screen. So in my window, I blit the text. So I give to this function the text, this text here. And also I specify the coordinate of the starting of this text. Let's compile. So that's my text, just a text. That's simple. Here, if you want just to change this boolean, make it false, you will see that something changed. Okay, something could change it in this text. I don't know what is exactly, but something changed it. Okay. Load and print image. So in the documentation, just go here, image. So that's the documentation of the image. So let me just go ahead and start coding. Let's erase this. Now the first thing, I want to declare my image name, and I load. So pygame image load. Okay, and here I specify the path of my image. So I have this image here. So that's our program, pygame program, and that's, so I want to load this background image. It's in the same folder with the program, so I just spell the name. So background png. And now what I want to do, I just blit this image. I blit in my window. Okay. Here, this function blit two arguments. The first is the image name, which is this image, and the second is the coordinates. I want to make it the background, so I make it 0, 0. Okay, so let's run. So that's the image. Okay, that's the background. I use it as background for my game. I always press Q to quit. So let's upload another image. Now I have this one. Let's open it with. So that's my image with the name quit. Okay. I want to upload this image also. the same thing here. I can just use the same variable. The name of this image is quit. So that's the image. Okay. So now we have mouse handling. Let's say that when I press over this button here, quit, I quit the game. So how can I do that? So just follow me, okay? So the first thing, so you want to know the width and the height of your image, which is here. The width is 100. Excuse me. Yes, the width is 100, and the height is 48 pixel. So let's get started. So the first thing, I want to start listening to events. Okay, so I declare a variable ev, for example, pygame event get. That's the important thing. And now what I want to do, I see all events. Okay, so for event in ev, in this array here, what I do here, I check if the mouse pressed. Okay, if this event, if event type equal pygame mouse button up. In this case, for example, what I want to do, so here that in this case, let's just print a message, click. Okay, that's mean we have a click. Let's compile. So here, let's click and see here. When I click, I see here this click here. But I want to get action when I press here inside this button. So what I do for this, I want to get the position where I click, the click position. Okay, the click position is simple. It returns x and y, which are the coordinates, and I call the function pygame mouse get pause. So that's mean when I click, I want to get the position of this click, and I put x in x and y in y. Okay. And here what I do, using this x and y, I check if the click is over the button. So how I check? So if x is greater or equal 0, because the coordinates of this image, the top left corner is 0. For x, I talk about x now, and x must be also less or equal the width of this image, which is 100. And I must check also for y, it must be greater or equal 0, and y less or equal the height of this image, which is 48. Okay, 48 pixel. Okay, so in this case, what I want to do, I want just to quit the game. So I just quit pygame and make the main loop variable equal false. So if I click here, 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 there is nothing. But if I click here, so the window gone. But here I have a problem. Why I have this problem? Because when I quit, so here I call this function pygame quit, and then I call the function pygame functions. That's why I see this problems. So what I can do, I just copy this section and I put it here. Because after I quit pygame, I can't use pygame because I quit it here. So let's compile. I click, there is nothing happen, but here when I click over this button, so the window gone. So don't remember that if you need any help, you will find the link in the descriptions below, and thank you for watching.